Hi everyone, I'm going to share with you a process of starting a new dog portrait. I actually am going to be doing it on my iPad, and I thought I would share it with you because I think it's very exciting. Where is it? 12 by 16, here we go. I think it's very exciting to see the beginning stages of what a dog portrait takes. I shared a portrait commission a few days ago of a borzoi jumping over an agility bar. And now I'm doing another portrait, but this is with two dogs. So I'm first going to start in Procreate by getting the photos in here. So let me find the picture of the dog. So here's one of the dogs. Okay, so that's the Belgian Shepherd. And it's kind of a blurry photo, so I'm going to start off just by doing a line drawing. So my canvas is 12 by 16, so I have a matching 12 by 16 canvas here. And then the dog is on another layer, and I'm going to create another layer for the pencil drawing. So I'm going to enlarge this dog portrait, and I just want to get an outline, and I'm going to play around with composition. So starting on the second layer, I'm going to lighten the dog layer. Whoops, wrong layer. This guy. So lighten it up so that I can see my line. And then I'm going to choose the top layer and go to a sketching, okay, there, the pencil. And I'm going to start by just getting the placement down of the dog's eyes and nose. This is a part where it can get a little tricky. I'm just going to be very basic. And let's see, her teeth come around here. It's dark in there. I'm just going to put a little, whatever I can see. Whatever I can see is what I'm going to try and sketch in here. You can't see much because I'll have to fill in the rest with, maybe just what I know about dogs. But I do want to get like the main shadows on here. Her eye is right here. And this eye you can barely see on this photo. And then her ears are very important. This breed, the ear positioning is super important. This is not a neat, perfect drawing. This is just for composition. So here's her fluffiness. And now I'm going to try and get the shape of her head. Now, where her head is starting and stopping, it's very hard to see, but I'll just kind of get a little of that in here. I can see a little bit of the bridge of her nose here. And I think that's all I'm going to do for placement for now. And then I'm going to drop out the background. And then there's my pencil sketch. Now I can select this layer and enlarge it on my picture. So I'm going to put her, let's say, here. Hi, Aurelia. Oh, wonderful. So Aurelia's watching from Florida. That's awesome. And now I need to get the other photograph. Where did I put that? Ooh, I think it's in Messenger. Let me just jump to Messenger really quickly. And I think the photo is back here. This one. Okay, so let me import this. Let's see, how do I do that? More. Save. You know what? It might not even, I might need to screenshot this because I don't trust where it was saved. All right. Okay, let's go back into Procreate, and I'm going to import that photo, insert a photo. Oh, good, it did save. There we go. Okay, so here's the other photo. And I'm just going to start, I don't care what size it is, I'm going to start by just doing another outline. So to outline this portrait, I'm going to add another layer. This is the outline portrait. layer, I'm gonna lighten up this dog so I can see my line. And for now, I'm going to turn off that layer. Okay, so now I'm gonna do an outline of this dog's face. And this is, again, I'm just creating the composition. This can be done with tissue paper. If you enlarge the photo, you can do it with tissue paper, but the computer makes it super easy to reduce and enlarge very easily. So you don't have to fool around with getting the photo just enlarged to the perfect size. It also saves some drawing time. So I'm gonna click on this layer. Now I'm gonna create an outline of her face very carefully. Let's get this a little larger. So the bridge of a Borzoi's nose is super important. You want to get that really accurate. And I'll do this more accurate when I get to the final drawing. Right now, I'm just kind of learning a little bit about the positioning of everything as I draw. And when I paint it, I'll go back to the photograph and just always go from the photograph. I like starting to capture some of this, the wave of the hair, so that kind of helps me when I get to the drawing part too. The painting part. And her head comes back here, and there's her other ear. And her eye placement, of course, oh my goodness, low battery. So this part here, now I'm gonna make some weird lines and just kind of jotting down little notes of where her coloring is or the light changes on her head. So some of it is changes in lighting, some of it's changing in color. She's got a colorful face. Just little notes. So that's her collar, so I'm going to eliminate her collar.
I couldn't find the little things where you store the tea, but I just wrote them creamer.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
And I'm not going to McDonald's anymore because
Braden can't go?
yeah.
Can you bring me down my box of goodies and a plate, a small plate, and a little...
No fork?
Yeah, maybe a fork too. Thanks, babe. Okay, so here's doggy number 2. Let's just get their chin a little bit more out here. And I'm going to remove the photograph. Hi, Amber. This is another dog portrait, and you can see it is, yikes. Okay, so I have 2 layers here. See, I did 2 separate dog portraits. Now this has to go on the same canvas. So I am going to try to play around with how I want to position the dogs by choosing the different layers. So I can choose this layer and shrink it down like that. I can put her up in the corner, and I can probably, no, I can't flip her because then her coloring would be off. Now let's go to this dog. See, it's always tricky when you do 2 dogs together because you want to make them look like they're sort of together, not just 2 floating heads. So this is always my dilemma. Let's see, what did I do on my, did I do a sketch of this one? Let's see, I would like to have one lower, one higher, maybe that, like that. much.
When do you think it'll be done?
Well, I'm gonna be working on this on and off all day, so.
Okay.
Why? What do you want to do?
Trying to hang out with the mommy because Dad and actually doing the garage.
Well, then go help Dad with the garage. Go help them at the garage. Or clean up the yard. Because it's a weekend. We gotta do weekend stuff.
Okay.
All right, so let me go back to this. So she can be off the page a little bit, and it's okay if they're overlapping. Let's see. See, I don't want her to be hanging off the page if she's not hanging off the page. And they both should be proportioned to each other. So let's make her a little smaller. All right, I think that's going to be good. I'm going to make sure there's enough background around both of them. I really want her to be overlapping her. I think if they're overlapping, it just makes it seem like they're more together versus just like these floating heads. I kind of hate the floating head look on dog portraits, but I also don't want them to look like they're crowding each other. So it's tricky. So I'm going to show this sketch to the person who commissioned it to me and let her decide if she wants them to be overlapping or not. All right. Okay, so that's the very beginning stage. You're just trying to figure out, and I definitely don't want the borzoi on this side because then she's going to be looking off of the painting. So it's always best to have your subjects facing each other, whether they're birds, whether they're people, whether they're dogs. You want them to be facing each other, or at least turning towards the center of the canvas versus turning away from the canvas. So she's kind of turning a little this way, and then she's turning that way. So that's why I have to have her on this side and her on this side. And I can't flip them because then her coloring will change. This dog's coloring is the same because she's solid black, but I could do one a little higher and one a little lower, but that could actually cause some, I don't know. For me, it's like, maybe that's not their pecking order, so that's not maybe necessarily the best composition. But I will ask Pam what she likes, and then later on I'll come back and we'll do the painting. All right, so that's the beginning stage. Let me get approval from my client, and then once I get approval on this sketch, then I'll start with the painting. Okay, bye guys. I'm gonna come back later. I'll go live when I start doing the painting.